There we go. Hello, welcome to Real Reds Talk. How are we all doing on this Tuesday? It's Tuesday evening. It's not Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. We are back with some more content for you. And today we have the returning Nicholas McKay back from Tenerife, back from his delay. How are we feeling? We're not looking that tanned. I am a bit disappointed.
I was waiting for one of them comments. I was like, please don't mention that. I don't look too bad, considering how pasty I was when I actually went over there. I've gone from like milk bottle colour to kind of like light sand. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's a slight improvement, but you've got to take what you got to get in it.
Enjoyed the break. Enjoyed the break.
I have, and I've come back bearing a gift, which this lovely. I can't even fit in the camera. That's how big
It's a big bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, a litre. So if we hit that, I'm sure Sam's going to mention it in a second. But if we hit that 300 mark, that will be getting cracked open. So yeah.
Shout out to Indrajeef in the chat. He's saying hi to me. Nobody says hi to me. We were getting loads of fans of Dan the other week. Everybody was saying hi to Dan. Adam was getting special links and stuff. Shreays has got a fan club. Like, nobody gives a shit about me. Anyways, Shreays, how's it going, mate? New background today. Are we changing it up a bit?
Yeah, I think on every live stream, I guess I'll be changing my orientation in my room just to keep it spicy.
Who's on the poster? I can't quite tell from here.
Bruno.
And then who's the other one behind your head?
Bruno.
More Bruno. Oh, okay.
I think he likes Bruno.
I think he likes Bruno.
Yeah.
See, Shreays is already getting fans in the chat. Shania, Shreays FC, Ritika, hello Shreays. See, popular man.
He's a fan favourite. He's a fan favourite.
Dan was the fan favourite the other week. The amount of stuff Dan was getting in the chat was ridiculous.
Oh, but Dan's repping it with his Miami shirts and stuff. Yeah. You gotta love Dan.
Dan's,
I love it.
Dan's
from Nick. We've learned from the best.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dan's cool. Dan's like the silent cool guy in all the movies, isn't he? Just very serene, chill, gets away with it. Anyways,
he's positive.
Yeah, and then you've got the He's a good lad. He's a good lad. Anyways, we're here with a breaking news show. All the latest Manchester United and Manchester United themed transfers, news, rumours, anything related to Manchester United that's been in the news. I just wanted to get one thing off my chest just before we start this. Being in the UK, and I don't know if it's the same in India. I imagine it's a little different. But we've been going through a cost of living crisis with our electricity companies putting up the price, or sometimes quadrupling it at times. So my bill's gone from like 50 quid a month to 220. And a lot of people are in a lot worse positions because I live by myself. And I saw on the internet online today, Shell were telling people, oh yeah, you just need to eat seasonally, cut down this, cut down that, where they're posting billions of dollars worth of profit. So how can I just say fuck you to Shell, fuck you to BP, and fuck you to every energy company in this country that's ruining people's lives, especially people on the poverty line. Fuck all of them. So sorry, I had to get that out of my system because I saw it about an hour before I went online and it just pissed me off. So if I exercise the demons and get it out now, I can go on with the show.
Yeah, much like our players last season, there's a shortage of energy.
Yeah, because that's all we bloody had at that point, wasn't it? Especially certain players.
Fuck the Tories as well.
Fuck them as well, because Liz Truss came out today. She was like, oh yeah, we're going to do regional pay boards, which basically meant people in the north, like me and Nick, and people above would get paid less than people in the south in London and stuff like that. And then quickly backtracked on it when she realised all these other police people, train drivers who are already on strike are deciding they're going to go on strike further. So she's already fucked it in the first place, so fuck the Tories as well.
You know what, Sam? I've got that Newsnight music.
There's a clip there. There you go. There's your clip. There's your clip for
breaking news. BBC. Sam goes off on BP Garage.
There's your clip for TikTok. Yeah. Lewis Jackson in the chat. Is that the real Nick McCabe? It is indeed the one and only. He's here. Anyways, let's get on to some football, shall we? Obviously Nick has been away for the last week or so. You watched all the games, didn't you, while you were away?
I did, yeah. I managed to find lovely bars to watch them in.
Nice. So obviously we haven't had Nick's thoughts on the game. So we'll get into a couple of news items that obviously you've seen on the thumbnail. So we'll get to some stuff on that. But first, I just wanted to get Nick's thoughts on the preseason games because obviously he's not been here. He wasn't here for reviews or any sort of watch-alongs. He probably wishes he wasn't here for a watch-along Sunday. because
the Rail Vallecano.
That was a tough game. Yeah. Just thoughts on the Athletic game, thoughts on the Rail Vallecano game. Was there another game while you were away?
No, I don't think so.
Just 2 games? Yeah.
No, I think it was just 2, yeah.
Yeah, just thoughts, players who stood out, things that you liked, things you didn't like, anything like that.
To be honest, it's not as fresh in my mind because it was obviously a few days ago, so I can't remember set things I did have very strong thoughts at the time. The Atletico game showed to me even more so that we need players who can take the ball comfortably under pressure. I thought that was the main kind of thing for me when I was watching it. A lot of them panic on the ball, and then I thought when Ericsson... did Ericsson play the Atletico game? Or was it the Rail Vallecano?
He played. He came on.
He played both.
He came on for 20 minutes Athletic, and then he did the. But
I just think Christian Eriksen is a prime example of what we need: composure, intelligence, and bags of ability. And I think if you had more players with that kind of mindset and technique throughout the full team, Ten Hag's the way he wants to play his philosophy would be implemented much easier. I think a lot of our players, players like Rashford panic, McTominay panic. Fred panic.
McTominay doesn't panic. He just has no clue about what.
Yeah, I just mean he can't play the right pass. He can't make the right decision. So therefore they panic and they'll play. I don't think it occurs. I don't think it occurs to him. I don't think his mindset is forward pass or line splitting pass. Whereas Bruno, Donny, people like that will do it. I don't think Scott McTominay's mind works that way. I don't think he's capable of it. But just my opinion. Off the ball as well, I thought we were much more aggressive, winning it back in good areas, and obviously that's a positive. Still a little bit lackluster in transition, which is a bit worrying. I've always said that. I've stuck by that point for the past few weeks. I see when we go into these competitive games in the Premier League is when you really get found out. When you're playing even the likes of Brighton or Brentford, and they've got these quick Premier League strikers on them transitions, Maguire and Lindelof are going to struggle if you don't play them.
We got found out against Melbourne, mate. We don't need Premier League. They found out against Melbourne.
Exactly. So you can only imagine that the fixtures in August are going to be much more tougher, and we're going to get exposed a little bit more. So I think that still needs working on. We obviously still need a real passer in that midfield, someone who can conduct a game. It's so important for ball retention. You see these consistent waves of patterns that you get from Man City, Liverpool. It's because they've got players in the midfield like Thiago, Rodri, De Bruyne, some of the best passers in the world, and some of the best teams I've ever played. It kills me to say it, but Man City's team over the past few years have been one of the best teams to play. And then obviously the one under Pep with Barcelona, the 09. The reason why they were so good is because they had world-class midfielders who press resistant, could keep hold of the ball, and they just made teams work. Would you even put Fred or McTominay anywhere near that category? They're about 10 categories below, literally. You've got people like fucking Lee Catamol that are on the same level as Scott McTominay.
Fucking hell, that's a blast from the past, Lee Catamol.
Oh, no, that was just a little bit of a...
Sunderland till I die, Lee Catamol.
But if you think say John Joe Shelvey, for example, his technique on the ball, he's better than McTominay. He is. So we need a level. I think McTominay's second half of the table quality. Play for Southampton.
I think James Ward-Prowse is better than McTominay. I think he has a better ability in a thing, and he plays for Southampton.
Yeah, far better. So midfield obviously still an issue. I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but that's a mess.
Don't say those letters, Nick. Don't say those letters.
I'm not going to say it.
Shreays is going to say it. I know he's going to say it.
I know. The game itself was really stop-start. You couldn't really get a consistent tempo, but I thought the ref was stopping it a lot. There were set times where it weren't even a foul, and I was just like, come on, man, just let the fucking game run. It's just getting so tiresome. It was just a proper Atletico doing what they do. I did think Atletico themselves though looked a bit leggy. I'm not sure if you guys agree with that. When you
they were only, I think, 2 games into their preseason. Whereas we were at 4th or 5th game, so I think they still had 3 games to play before their season starts.
Yeah.
So
I think the La Liga campaign starts a bit late than to what Premier League. They still have a lot of their preseason left, so their fitness levels are not even near to ours, basically.
So in overall, the result didn't determine my overall opinion of the game, because I thought as a team we looked better. We looked sharper. We was better off the ball in comparison to how we have been, and better as a unit. And that's credit to Erik ten Hag and his coaching. So Atletico game. It was one of them. Yeah, it was a bit back and forth.
Couple of comments in the chat. Shania, glad to see Ericsson showing what he brings to the table. Yeah, we'll point him out in a minute. Hope Ericsson and Bruno can work together for Injured Chief. Yeah. Shreays, scary to see how unprepared we are for next season. Yeah, we're going to get into that on Thursday when we do our season preview, so definitely watch out for that. Nick, was there any players that stood out? Like for me, Lisandro Martinez stood out in the Rayo Vallecano game. I thought he was class on the ball, did everything spot on. Does not play like a typical central defender in any way, shape or form. Like even when you watch Varane, who's one of the most quality defenders you'll ever see, he still looks a bit weird on the ball. Like it doesn't look entirely comfortable. Lisandro Martinez was like a knife through butter, just absolutely
just
amazing.
In it.
Playing great balls, did everything well, great tackles, stuff like that. I already love this guy. He already looks fantastic. Christian Eriksen, again, I thought some of the quality of the deliveries he had, some of the quality of the passing was spot on. I think he did when he played in the Athletic game, he came on and within 2 minutes he set something up. And was it Rashford? Or was it Elanga? He probably should have scored. He was like on a plate for him, probably should have scored. His quality was phenomenal as well. And they were the sort of two players and Donny as well. I thought Donny was very underrated against Rayo Vallecano. Mark Goldbridge said something. Normally I don't really agree with Mark Goldbridge. I think sometimes he gets a bit two-sided on players and stuff like that, but he did say something really important about Donny van de Beek. Like people expect Donny van de Beek to be one or two things, like this marauding goal-scoring midfielder or making crunching tackles and like defending and stuff. He's neither of those players. He's a very technical, very gifted player. One-touch passing, movement, stuff like that. That is what he's good at. He's fantastic at it, and I think he showed it really, really well. And I saw a lot of people slagging Donny off, and I'm just like, I thought he was really good, personally. I thought he was a very good player in that thing. But like, who were the players that you sort of saw and thought, yes, they had stand-up performances?
I agree with a couple of players you mentioned. Eriksen looks really good. I think unless they're going to play a midfield of Eriksen, Bruno, and Fred, I think Eriksen. I would give Bruno's spot to Eriksen, judging on how they both play. I think he suits how Ten Hag wants to play. Keeps hold of the ball much better. Again, press resistant, very intelligent player. Got a great shot on him, and he's great at set pieces. So Eriksen, great. Lisandro Martinez, I love him even before he joined United. Like, such a good player, and I can see him fitting right into that system. So we look really good. Can I just say as well, a special shout out to Ahmad, because Ahmad looked good when he came on. Obviously got his goal. My boy got his 2 goals and one assist.
Shreays, you got 10 minutes into the podcast, into the video before you mentioned Ahmad.
Yeah. 2 goals and 1 assist from him pre-season. He's done all right. He's not done too bad. And you know what? I actually don't know what position, because every time he's played as like a false 9 or as a striker, he's actually looked all right.
He scored as well.
I said to my girlfriend messing about when he was running at players, I was like, that's like R9, that. Obviously taking the piss, like not being serious. But yeah, I'm a massive fan of Ahmad. I think he's impressed me as well. And just the game in general, though, let's be honest, like, I watched the preview you guys did. There wasn't much to shout and rave about. No. There was players that haven't played with each other before. There was obviously Ronaldo coming back, wasn't fully fit. So it was always going to be one of them kind of, friendlies. Yeah. Not much to analyse. You could take a few positives from it. But yeah, the guys I mentioned had decent cameos.
Yeah, I think so. Let's just get a couple of comments in the chat. Ashley Dallow, shout out to Ashley Dallow here for every video. He appreciates support, mate. Eriksen,
Sam, can I just go on very quickly? Push to 300 subs, and this is getting cracked open. I'm gonna do a shot of that live on Thingy. So
I will join him as well. Like if we get 300 subscribers, I will join him. Shreays, you want to show us what you're drinking? There you go. Hard stuff. Shreays is on the hard stuff, man.
For all you ginger people out there, that's for you.
There you go.
Ginger ale.
Ashley Dallow. Eriksen reminds me of Paul Scholes. Yeah, he's a very good passer of the ball, much like Paul Scholes was. Very good. Mr. J, respect for Ronaldo, best scorers of all time. Puskas, Pele, Maradona. Interesting. Mr. J, Forza Juve. I think you're on the wrong channel, mate. It's Man United channel list, not Juve channel. Welcome anyway. If we get De Jong and he can work with Bruno and Eriksen, we would be having one of the best midfield in the Premier League. Injury chief. We're going to get onto De Jong later. Don't worry, we are going to talk about it, even though I cannot be asked, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Mr. J, United, green and gold. Nice. Love it, mate. Going for everything here. Love it. Shreays, the innocent one. I think you have to watch out for the quiet ones. I think that's the ones you got to watch for.
Especially the quiet ones. They're the ones that you like.
That's the
not
dodgy.
Too short. I think he kills cats in secret. That's what I think he does.
Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Oh my God.
I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah. I've always said about this is from Dan, who's obviously a big part of the channel. I've always said about give him a run of 5 games, see how he settles into the midfield. Last game, his passing was sweet. So many key passes, stopping the opposition, 1 touch. Yeah, totally agreement there. Kavisha goal. Hey, Shreays. What is this fucking today? There's just Shreays fan club today. Absolute bullshit.
Big fan club.
Dan's got his fan club. Dan's got his fan club. Shreays got his fan club. Can me and Nick get a fan club going here? Can somebody like join our team? Because
I'm my own. I'm a number 1 fan. I love myself, so I don't mind.
Bit lonely, yeah.
That is.
Mr. J, I miss Fergie times. Yeah, we all do, mate. We all do. Hashtag Dallo, thanks for appreciation, mate. Always wait for your live Mongo, so I love your videos. Keep it up. Shreays, silent killer. Yeah, see, people know Shreays. Yes. They know who you are. Appreciate it, Ashley. Appreciate the love. Right, should we get on to some news and stuff, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's have a look at my notes. Yeah.
Check that sub count as well.
Yeah, one of you check the sub count for us. If you're not subscribed to the video and you've liked the video, please do subscribe and like the video. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. So let's talk about Benjamin Cesco. So United were linked to him early this week, I believe. 55 million was his quoted price. I'm not sure. Again, I get confused if it's euros or pounds at this point because people change the thing. 55 million. United looking to pay more, about 30 million. Apparently, John Murtaugh went this last week to meet with his agent in Salzburg to discuss a possible deal. But Salzburg apparently do not want to sell until next season. But if he carries on the way he's going and goes up in sort of goal scoring and his games played and stuff, I think his price is only going to go up. He's been labelled the next Haaland. There's more interest developed today. Apparently, United are now in a bidding war. That could just be agent talk to sort of drive his price up and get people to come in. But apparently, he's in a bidding war between Liverpool, United, and Chelsea. Chelsea are just in for everybody. Apparently, just bidding for fucking everybody. So yeah, it's an interesting development. We clearly are in need of a striker, or at least someone in the forward line, because we're very, very short in that. Even if Ronaldo stays, I'd say we still need a recruit there. Shreays, thoughts on Benjamin Cesco? Do you think he's gonna come this season? And I know not a lot of us have seen much of him, but what are your feelings on him?
I mean, after the first time we got linked with him, I did look into him a bit. I saw a few of his stats and the way he likes to control the game as well, how he likes to play. I mean, I would say he is a developing target man. So I get why Ten Hag is looking to get him in, because he's one of those players who's going to develop into that role, and maybe he thinks that he can carve him out to be that person like he did with Haller at Ajax. So I get the idea. Another thing which is positive is that Ten Hag himself has given the approval about this player. So if he does come in, it would be a signing which Ten Hag has approved, and one that he would actually like to work with as well. So these are the 2 plus points. But one thing that is a downside is right now we are desperate for an attacker, and almost every club in Europe knows that. So even if no matter who we go with, we are going to get exploited for it. And if we end up paying about 65 million for Cesco, I don't really get the sense of it, because if we do go in for Anthony, we would get him for about 65 to 75 million. So would Cesco
not according to Ajax, we won't. They want 80 to 100 million.
Yeah, but still, I think about 65 to 80 million, there's not that much of a gap, and I don't rate him as much as I do Anthony. So I don't think that the rate, it's fitting. I don't want us to, go for a desperate deal again and shell out big bucks for no reason. I think if we can get him in the winter window or next season for about 30, or I would even say 35 million, I think it's a solid deal. But for 65 million, for someone who's still not an established player as well, who is still, has to make his name, hasn't, been about in the scene as well for too long, is just playing for Salzburg. The Premier League is going to be a different ball game. So these signings are tricky. So it's important that we don't go and pay loads of money for it. I would say it's like one of the Malaysia deals, I would say. We went in for Malaysia, we got him for about 15 million. So even if the transfer doesn't work out, it's not that much of a loss.
Yeah.
And I think Cesco is going to be another deal like that. So I don't want us to, go above the 35 million limit, at least for players like these who, still have to invent themselves and still have to redeem and make a case for themselves to, be recognized in Europe. So I think once again, it's a gamble signing. If it works out, it's going to be amazing. I do get why Ten Hag wants him. It does fit in his profile as to what kind of player he wants. But I don't want us to, to be overpaying for it, because we've had that regime for, overpaying for players, especially, young prospects who haven't, they've just sprung onto the scene, haven't really, done anything major, but we end up paying big bucks for them. So with these signings, I think, we should be careful, especially I would say when you're desperate for a player. Because one thing that I have appreciated a lot from Bayern this season is all clubs in Europe know that they're desperate for a striker. They still not went in for one. They still they're saying that we'll figure something out, but we won't go in for a striker just because we're desperate for one. And that's how you stop yourself from getting exploited.
But also, Bayern have never overpaid for players in their life. Like they never have. Whereas never. United have consistently overpaid for players. Just a couple of quotes, and then we'll get Nick's thoughts on it. Adam in the chat. Lads, you read the Dean Henderson quotes? No, I've not seen it. Adam, drop them in the chat. No. Let me have a gander. Let's see. According to reports, Man United what will happen to CR7 before considering serious talks for Cesco. With or without CR7, we should sign Cesco. It's a no-brainer. That's from Ashley Dello. Daniel Rice, 65 million is too much for a 19-year-old who we do not know much about. If Ronaldo stays, then he'd be third choice. JD429, do we have any current young talent should be given a shot instead of Cesco? I mean, Alejandro Garnacho's there. We could do worse than give that guy a shot. I thought he was fantastic against Rayo Vallecano. I'd happily give him a shot. Adam, Henderson asked if he spoke to Eric Ten Hag before going out. No, I didn't. I really want the manager to come in and be able to see me training because I knew he'd probably want to keep me. Interesting quote. Nick, thoughts on Benjamin Cesco?
Let's be honest. I don't think many of us have seen much of him before we kind of got linked with him, and obviously that Liverpool game where he played really well. But as Shreays alluded to then, the price tag is a bit mad. Like, you can't be putting them price tags up for a player who, when he looked at his thing, it was like one goal in a few games, and obviously he's played a little bit more now, but his potential, are you going to spend 70 million or 60 million on just potential? Like, you need to see a bit more, I think. He's definitely got it. He's a player who could fit a variety of attacking systems. Like, he's 6'4", strong, quick. His clock speed's similar to Kylian Mbappe, so he's super quick for his height. He's press resistant, super press resistant, can go in behind, knows when to drop, super intelligent footballer. So he's got all the kind of accolades you want from a striker. He is literally like, it looks like the perfect kind of mould. But going from Salzburg to Manchester United is a massive, massive step up and a massive transformation. And we've seen players go from the German league before, like a Timo Werner or something like that.
It's the Austrian league.
Austrian league, sorry, but you know what I mean. It's still Red Bull group. Yeah. You've seen players go from there, and you see players go from the German league as well, and it hasn't necessarily worked out. Haaland's obviously a special one, but you're talking about a generational talent there. So I don't think comparing them to. I think it's just a height thing why people are comparing them, because they are different kind of players. Haaland's just a straight machine, monster, killer in the box. Whereas if you actually watch Cesco, he's got a variety of tricks.
He's very really good. He's very good with his feet. Like, for the guy the size of the year, he's very good when he's on the ball.
That's what I mean.
His touch and stuff. He's very good. Yeah. So it's an interesting sort of player to look at in terms of like style and stuff like that.
Yeah. And his clocking speed similar, like I said, then to Mbappe. Like, he's super, super quick. So he's definitely a talented player. The thing that bugs me with this is I keep seeing, we're waiting to see what happens with Ronaldo before we make a decision on Cesco. Why? You just got Man City, who just signed one of the best strikers in the world in Haaland, and they just signed Julian Alvarez behind him as like a backup.
Yeah. Don't remind us.
No, but he's touted as one of a very, very exciting youngster from South America.
Yep.
So why are we waiting to see what a 38-year-old Ronaldo does before we try to sign someone potentially for the next 10 years for his club? Does it make sense to anyone?
Nick, you know the reason why, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
Glazers, money, don't want to spend money unless they're getting money in. Like, they don't. It's just the way it is. That's why.
Yeah, and they'll always kind of stunt our growth, and I think most United fans have realised that by now. But we're in 4 competitions, 4 cup not cup. Sorry, we've got the league. We've got Europa League, FA Cup,
League
and
Cup.
is it League Cup as well? Yeah. And then you've got the World Cup in December. So we desperately need depth. I don't get how this board can't see that when every single fan, every single United fan, and every single fan outside of United can see we're thin in areas.
They've basically just gone. How much is it going to cost us? This, right? Yeah, we're not interested. That's how the conversation's gone.
It is overpay. If you're paying 50, 60 million for a player like that, it is overpaying because he's no way near enough proven. He's very young. He's got potential, but you can't pay that much.
No.
Stay near the 30, 40 mark. It stinks of United tax, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Adam G is another quote from Henderson. I turned down so many loans last summer for the reason being promised Man United's #1 spot. They wouldn't let me go. It's frustrating. Sit there and waste 12 months is criminal, really. Dean Henderson's not happy, is he? Not happy at all, Manchester United. I mean, he was apparently one of the leaks at the club, wasn't he? He was rumoured to be, so don't surprise me. What's happening with Wan-Bissaka? He's just sort of existing at this point. It's from Shreays. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope we sell him. I hope we get something for him because I don't want to see him play in this team. I just don't think he's up to it.
We're on 299 subs, by the way. We've got one more, and I'll crack that whiskey open.
We're getting a whiskey shot. One more.
Yeah. One more sub. Anyone.
Daniel Rice, we have to sell Wan-Bissaka for 20 and get Dest for 20. Yeah, we're going to talk about Dest later, so don't worry.
Yeah.
George Thomason, it's just embarrassing that we haven't signed De Jong yet. We're going to get onto De Jong, don't worry. I know it's a bit complicated. Come on, we look desperate. The Malacia deal is the only deal where we've looked competent. Yeah, I'd agree with that because Martinez took a while to announce for some reason. So did Eriksen. Don't know what happened. Hashtag Dollar, guys, we're in a reconstruction phase. Let us have a mixture of youth experience. We have some key experience players, so just give his chance to Alejandro Garnacho. Guy needs to play. Yeah, I agree. Great player. I think he'll get his opportunity. We dragged Eriksen too. It took about 2 weeks. Yeah. When was the last time we had a target man as a striker? Ibra, but before that. Berbatov? Would Berbatov be a target man?
Nah, not aerially. Nah.
But yeah, that's what his first touch was fantastic. So you could play those long balls,
or you could play off him like in that sense. But when you've got talking like a target man where you like height, aerial,
Van Persie,
nah, he's not. He wasn't that big, was he? He was not short, but anyways.
Yeah, we haven't usually had one like that really. To be honest.
Cesco is still raw material, so it needs to be polished. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Danny Rice, to be honest, we at the club, we could buy a teenager, develop him, and get him to the starting lineup. Last time we bought a teenager and let him in the starting lineup. Bought a teenager. Martial? Was he a teenager when we bought him?
What? Yeah, of course. Yeah. 18, wasn't he? Ballon d'Or clause.
Yeah, Martial. How old was De Gea when we got him? He was quite young, wasn't he?
21.
Oh, was he 21?
21.
I think.
Yeah. But hopefully with this new manager, Ten Hag, hopefully that is the way we're going to go now. We're going to get young players in and develop them. Hopefully that's now the pattern. But we've got so much talent in our youth system that we don't necessarily need to go out and buy players. Like, we've got so much talent. Like, we saw Ethan Laird. I thought he played really well. Rayo Vallecano. You got Garnacho, Zidane Iqbal, Charlie Savage, McNeil. You've got so much talent in that youth system that we may not need to go out and spend if Ten Hag can develop those players. So see what happens. Cesco looks like he got some muscle injuries despite being so young. I mean, he's still probably growing, isn't he? So there's always sort of development and growing pains and injuries and stuff.
Messi had that. Yeah. Messi had loads of injuries when he was younger.
Sometimes young players just get them, and hopefully when they develop fully, it sort of tends to go away. Could rather just trust the youth in United DNA rather than shelling out insane money for it. Yeah, I agree. Anyways, should we move on to the next one? Lewis Jackson, Ethan Laird, Ethan Lame should be. Lewis Jackson doesn't rate Ethan Laird, apparently.
I didn't rate him the first half. We had a bit of a disagreement on that, didn't we, Sam? I didn't rate him the first half. I thought he was much better second, but the first he was getting rinsed on that left-hand side defensively. But it's all about opinion, isn't it?
Let's talk about, Frankie de Jong. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't want to talk about this, but yeah. We're in Manchester United channel, so we have to talk about it. Obviously, Frankie de Jong has been the ongoing saga for the last, what's it been, like 16 weeks? 13 weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks, okay. Feels longer. Barcelona are obviously in an absolute chaos of a state. They released their latest economic lever, which released 100 million into the club, which means they can register players like Rafinha, Lewandowski, and stuff like that. Laporta, I believe, came out and said, we are doing everything possible to register signings. We have to do it before the August 13th deadline.
Yeah.
Which would suggest to me that if De Jong is going to come to Manchester United, it's going to be before then, because they're going to have to register him. So they have to either get De Jong to take a pay cut, or he's going to have to leave. It's one of the two. So if he doesn't leave, it means he's taking a pay cut and they register those players. So that's the way it seems to be going. At this point with Frank De Jong, I think we should just leave it. I think we should move on. I think it's taken too long. There's been too many hurdles, too many slaps in the face constantly. Barcelona taking the absolute piss. It's looking like we're probably going to pay him his £450,000 a week wage, which is absolutely insane that he's on that wage. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He is a very, very good player, but he does not deserve £450,000 a week. I'm sorry. He's owed €17 million by Barcelona, and we're believed to be paying him that wage just to get him, which basically means we're letting Barcelona getting away with shitty behaviour and shitty way of running business, and we're paying the price for it just so we can get a player. At this point, I just tell Barcelona to go fuck themselves. Move on. Get a couple of midfielders who you're willing to develop, who've got potential. Neves, Tielemans, stuff like that. Get some multiple midfielders in and just move on for it. For me, it's got to the point now where I'm just like, fuck Barcelona and everything they're doing, and it's costing us money. Nick, thoughts, feelings on this situation?
Yeah, I think Barca are basically the Tories of this transfer market, aren't they, at the minute? Yeah. They're just destroying a lot of shit. I have to disagree with both of you. I think United are right to stay in the stance that they're doing at the minute and not pay the wages owed by Barcelona. I'm not saying you guys are saying that.
No, I'm saying they are doing. That's my point.
No, yeah, my point is they obviously shouldn't pay the 17 mil that's owed to De Jong, because that would just be taken as absolute mugs if we did that, and then it'd have a knock-on effect on future transfers. I know it's dragged on long. I've kind of got a different perspective on this now. The more I've thought about it. But he is the only player, he is the key piece to this jigsaw that Ten Hag wants, and he's desperate to get him in. I don't think he can see another player doing as good as a job as what De Jong does. It's all good bringing in the Tielemans or bringing in someone like that, but the way Ten Hag plays, someone like a De Jong is integral to that system. So I think sometimes the main piece is worth waiting for. That's just my personal opinion. Initially, I didn't believe he wanted to come, so I've always been on the stance that, you know, if a player doesn't want to be here, I don't want him here either, because he's not going to give you a full 100% commitment. And Alex Ferguson always said that with the likes of Gary Neville, Dennis Irwin. The reason why they would play over maybe sometimes talented players is because he'd get 110% from him every single game.
Song.
Yeah. So it has to be a balance of commitment and talent, right? And that's the main thing. So I didn't believe at first that De Jong wanted to, but I don't think they would wait this long for 12 weeks if he didn't want to come. I think
it's embarrassment. I think they can't pull out because it's just going to absolute clusterfuck and look embarrassing for John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold. Also, Nick, let me put this to you. If De Jong is the key piece to his jigsaw and we don't get him, which is possible, is you telling me Ten Hag would rather go into the season with Fred and McTominay than Tielemans and Neves? Are you telling me that?
No, but he'd rather wait for this deal to the maximum point, even to the end of August, if there's a slight chance of getting De Jong.
But then what do we do if we don't? What do we do if we don't get him?
Well, obviously, you go to an alternative towards the end of the window. Tielemans has got a year left on his contract, so that's not a hard deal that you can do. No one's gone in for him yet. The deal's still there to do. Obviously, if he gets snapped up and then the Neves gets snapped up, it makes it difficult. But right now, them players are still available. So I would hold on. You just mentioned there the August 13th deadline. Yeah. I would hold on for another 2 weeks, see what happens with that. If we don't get De Jong in for the first couple of games, we've got Brentford and we've got Brighton, the first 2 games, right? It's not the end of the world. We'd probably still win them games, personally. That's what I think.
Liverpool's the third game, though.
Then the Liverpool third game, that's the key one. If it isn't done before that game, that's when I start to get a little bit worried. But I just don't think they would stick around for 12 weeks if they didn't have a kind of inkling that this deal would get done. So I still fully expect it to happen. but let's expect riots if it doesn't, because if it goes on for another 2 weeks, you got 14 weeks there you've been spending on a deal. If they don't get it over the line, it's going to be fucking chaos.
I disagree with you. I think we've not pulled out because it's just going to be utterly embarrassing if we try and pull out of this deal now, especially for Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh. It's their first season in charge of the transfer. If they pull out now, they look like complete and utter twats. That's why they've not pulled out. I don't believe it's anything to do with I don't think De Jong wants to come. I'm convinced of it at this point. I don't think he wants to come.
If he had a stance that, if he was said from the start, from the get-go, yeah, I want to join United, yeah, I want to do this, blah, 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 his then hand is shortened.
I get that. I do get that.
So why would he say that?
I don't expect him to come out and say he wants to come to United. I don't expect that at all. I just don't think he wants to come. We're not in the Champions League. His dad said he doesn't want to live in Manchester and stuff like that. He was also his agent. He said it previously. I don't think he wants to come. I don't think.
Look what Barca are doing. Look what Barcelona are doing to him.
Yeah,
Lewandowski, Rafinha, Kunde, and they're like, we can't pay you 70. Why would a player want to stay there? Like,
because it was his dream. It was his dream. But also, I think now Chelsea are involved, as apparently they're going to make a bid and stuff. The Chelsea involved. They've got Champions League football, and it's London, which probably suits him a bit better. I think there's a real. If Chelsea come in with a bid, I think he's gone. Yeah, he's going to Chelsea.
I don't see it. I disagree.
Shreays, I'll get your point of view in a minute. I'm just going to read a couple of comments. Ashley Dalla, when I hear the name Frankie de Jong, I have headaches. It will not join even if he leaves Barcelona. I agree. Ashley, I agree. George Thompson should have grabbed Wolves by the throat and took Neves. Yeah, I agree. Should have just took him. Ashley Dalla, for me, Ruben Neves, the ideal signing. Proven in Premier League, young, ready to join. That's what we need. Yep. Adam, I think he's trolling. Tomine for captain and CDM. Adam, I'm going to ban you from the chat. I'm telling you, I'm banning you from the chat. Flex Felix, welcome back to the channel, mate. Always good to see you. Barca technically breached Frankie de Jong's contract. Can't he just walk away for free? United should try to sign him, give him 70 million sign-off fee. I don't know. I don't know the legalities. I don't know how it works with it, but whatever they're doing, it's fucking madness. Injured Chief, Barca giving a coaching job for De Jong. Yeah, they're doing everything but play him in midfield. He's playing centre back. Yeah. You get a coaching job. Shreays, De Jong is becoming a headache. I mean, it was a headache about 3 weeks ago. It's a fucking migraine at this point. Can De Jong terminate his contract, become free agent, and then come United to get 20 million up front? I've no idea, Dan. I don't know. Shreays, we've already spent a longer time than I wanted to on this situation, but quickly, thoughts on De Jong and the sort of ever-developing situation?
I would say, first off, it is because, we haven't, been that efficient in this deal, but major part of that has to, be in Barcelona's hands as well, because you can't trust what Laporte has to say every time, he comes to do a press conference. Whatever he says, you really can't trust it, because he can spit out whatever he wants, but we've seen what happens. He said that he could, keep Messi in. He actually couldn't keep him in. He ended up going up as a free agent. So I would say if he couldn't, keep one of the biggest players in Barcelona history ever, he couldn't tie him down to the club. Even though I would say he tried everything he could. I would still say I would wait at least till the final week of the transfer window, but I wouldn't go till the final couple of days, because I would still say if you want to get in a decent replacement, you need to be working on something. And with us, the case is we haven't really been working on anything except that. I do know that Tielemans is going to be an option who's going to be still available, but the only catch with Tielemans is that he's pretty much had a verbal agreement with Arsenal when the transfer window pretty much started. They're just trying to lower down the price with Leicester so that they end up selling him, because next season he becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
And with Neves, once again, the situation is with the pricing, because Wolves pretty much stated that they want 100 million upfront for Ruben Neves, and I would never pay 100 million for Ruben Neves.
Absolute madness.
So I would say we could explore other alternatives, but the problem with us is that we haven't really explored alternatives that much, especially when it comes to the midfield. All our cards were basically in De Jong, and except that we haven't really been working on anything else. I mean, even if you see the other deals, Antony's deal is pretty much dead as well, and we pretty much we stagnated every other deal just to get the De Jong deal done, and we've still not been able to do it. And I do get that Barcelona are really tricky to work with when it comes to transfers, especially the position they are in right now as a club, financially, and with
Not
the
when
court
it,
as well.
not when it comes to selling, apparently, because everybody's fucking
yeah.
selling players to Barca.
But I would still say, no matter what he does, he cannot go over the wage bill that La Liga has stated. He cannot, no matter how much money, whatever he sells, whatever he does, he can't go over the wage bill. And unless De Jong takes a pay cut, none of his players can get registered. So I would say if I'm Manchester United right now, I would hold on, but I would press on that fact a lot that they can't really fluctuate the wage bill any much. And if they can't fluctuate with the wage bill, De Jong needs to take a pay cut. So one of the things is, if I would say we are still in this deal, maybe Ten Hag and De Jong have had some conversations. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes between the player and the manager, because I would say that having a manager like Ten Hag, if a deal like this persists for so long, there has to be something in it. And if it would have been a situation where De Jong would have pretty much stated that in no scenario or in no case he will ever leave Barcelona, I think Ten Hag would have pretty much considered the deal dead a long time ago and went on for someone else. Because right now we've got players like Cesco, like people completely off the radar, like Malacia. So I would say if we are still in it, there has to be something going on between the player and the manager as well. So I think the next 3 to 4 days are going to be key. I think the first game against Brighton, that is going to be I would say the most important day for us in this entire transfer window, because after that, when the season is pretty much, it's going to kick in with its full force. So if we are not able to conclude the deals by then, it's going to affect us in the big games, considering a third game is against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I would say not to go about this deal for far too long, because we've pretty much wasted months on this.
Yeah, we've waited so long. We've just reached 300 subscribers. Woo-hoo-hoo! Nick, get your fucking whiskey ready.
Yeah.
Ashley Dallow, 300 subscribers. My wife is the 300th. All right, so this shot goes out to Ashley Dallow's wife for being the 300th subscriber. Let me grab a shot. Nick, take over for a minute.
301.
This one is for you, Mrs. Dallow. I don't know if your second name's Dallow, but we've got a lovely, as you can see, it's quite a big bottle. We've got a litre of JD honey here. Shreays has got his ginger ale, and I believe what's Sam got there? What's your poison, Sam?
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Love it. Right, so this is for 300 subs. Thank you, everyone, for all the support.
If we get 350 on this thing, we'll do another one.
Yeah, that's definitely more than a shot. I always overpour. I don't know why, but I've tried eyeballing it, and it's just been fucking disastrous. So
you've done a Tenerife, haven't you?
Yeah. Measurement. So,
cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you for 300 subs.
Thank you, Mrs. Dallow. Oh.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Jesus
On to
Christ.
350. On to the next
350
one.
for another shot.
Milestone. It's the milestone we go. Careful on that ginger ale, Shreays.
Yeah, don't be too much, mate. Can't have you on the stream pissed.
Yeah. Slow. Nice and easy. Sugar rush. All that business.
Too much ginger. A couple of comments. Let me just get through these quick and then we'll go on to the next one. There's so much refusal on Frankie de Jong part saying he won't join Man United. Will he ever be loved by Man United fans? He's forced to one day or the other to join. Good point. Lewis Jackson, he'll go to Chelsea. I agree with you. Totally agree with you. Lewis Jackson, Tillman's going to Newcastle. I've not seen that anywhere. That's interesting.
Won't surprise me.
Yeah,
doing a bit of a madness then.
They're trying to buy James Maddison as well, aren't they? Putting bids in.
Yeah, the bid just got rejected. 50 mil.
Daniel Rice, shout out to Dallow's wife. Yes, shout out to Daniel's wife. Daniel, she is my wife. Congrats on 300. My name's on it. Nick, your hand is not steady.
What?
Injured Chief, your hand's not steady.
What does that mean? Was it like shaking?
Apparently.
I don't know.
MJ Sweat, cheers. Cheers to you, mate. Ashley Dallow, your channel is really good, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Shreya, congrats. Shreya drinking that ginger ale, crazy. Absolute mad head, isn't he? Absolutely mental. Mrs. Dallow's here. Cheers. Yeah, cheers to Mrs. Dallow. Appreciate all the love, guys. Thank you for the 300 subscribers. It's always nice to hit goals. 304 subscribers. Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. They're trying to push that next
trying to get 350.
Yeah. They're going to get that number one now.
We're going to be like, here in an hour just like,
1,000.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I love Frankie de Jong.
Shreays got like 20 cans of ginger ale behind him. Like, oh, okay now.
Oh god. Yeah. Anyways,
Wow, fuck me.
this show is gonna get out of control quick, innit?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. What is his first name? Dest. What is his first name?
Sergio
Dest.
Some of that. Sergio.
Barcelona right back. Apparently, there's rumors. Let me just get the where Adam gave me the tweet. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how reliable the geezer is, the journalist who's done it, but it's a news show, innit?
I'll read it out anyway. Apparently, it's from Sport, so
yeah,
50-50.
Who outlet?
Sport from Miguel Sanz. I'm not sure. I've not heard of him, but anyways. Man United are willing to pay 20 million euros for Dest from Barcelona. The info, I'm just like, there's not much info in it. It's just a lot of things, but it seems to have got a lot of hype. Again, could be complete and utter bollocks. Could be something in it. May not be anything in it. We'll see what happens. We do need a backup right back, or if not, a first choice right back, and have Diego Dallo as our backup right back. I think Wan-Bissaka is probably not long for the club. Hopefully we can get him shifted this summer. Get some bit of money for him, which goes back into the pot. Nick, if it is true, decent signing, 20 million, Dest, right back.
I wouldn't say he's a standout. I'd still prefer someone like a Denzel Dumfries, but apparently Chelsea is in for him now, so I'm not sure
Chelsea
what's going to happen
just
with
signing everybody. What the fuck's going on with Chelsea?
They are going a bit mad. He can play both as well. Dest can play both left back and right back, so it gives you a bit of versatility in them options. Not like we've got enough left backs anyway. I'm sure we're going to get onto that a little bit later.
Yep.
But yeah, he's versatile, which is always a nice kind of added bonus. Decent. I think he played about 20 odd games for Barcelona last season, so got a good few games under his belt. Again, not a standout player, a decent right back, I would say, nothing more. And I think he'd probably similar level to Dallo, I would say. Yeah, that's my opinion on it.
If you've got Dallo next season, and then say, for argument's sake, Ethan Laird, or you could have Dest, would you rather go with Ethan Laird and give an opportunity to a youth player, or would you bring in Dest?
I think Dest is obviously more ready because he's played games for Barcelona in La Liga. Yeah. So Dest, I'd say Dest. Yeah.
Any thoughts on Dest, Shreays, quickly, and then we'll move on because it's obviously a bit of a nothing story, but we report whatever news is out. So.
I think that it's one of those links that they're just to make us look like that we're active in this window. I don't really think that it's one of those signings that we are actually looking into, because even I think Dest in his time, first off, Dest is also a Barcelona player, so even if we go in for him, it's going to take us about 3 to 4 months just to get to some terms with him. Then his father is going to come out and say that he doesn't want to come, and something like that. So I don't see any truth to the story, and except that I don't think that he's going to offer us anything different if he comes, because Dallo as well as Dest, I think most of their traits are same, and I do rate Dallo higher than him, because I think out of what I've seen out of Dallo, I think we've all seen glimpses of what he can be under the right coaching, and with the right partner ahead of him. I think he can be really, really good for us. And bringing in Dest, I don't really see any point, because I get the point that we want to offer some competition to Dallo of that right hand flank, but I don't think that Dest is going to be that player who's going to do it. Because if you look at our left back position, Luke Shaw offers us something different, and Malacia offers us something completely different out of the book. So that's the kind of versatility that we should have in that place. If we just gonna have two players doing the same thing, it's not going to do any favors to us. We've pretty much got that in our midfield with Fred and McTominay. So rather than doing that, like Nick mentioned, going for someone like Denzel Dumfries, he's going to offer us something completely different. There are exciting prospects all over the Bundesliga, I would say, when it comes to right backs. There are some really, really good options which are going to offer us something different from what Diego Dallo has to offer us. So I think it's just one of those signings, like the window when we got Bruno, on the final day we got linked with Dembele and things like that. I think it's just one of those signings once again. just to create some air in the transfer window, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to talk about Ronaldo, but should we talk about Telles just because it's slightly related?
Yeah.
Alex Telles, we sort of spoke about it on the Insta Live. If you're not following us on Instagram, by the way, the handles are at the bottom. Go follow us on Instagram. Every Monday we do an Insta Live, just chat about the latest United stuff. It's very casual, very sort of laid back, interact with chat and stuff. So go follow us on Instagram if you're not following us. It's a nice chill show. We talked about Alex Telles. Apparently there was stuff going on that he was going to Sevilla. Is it not Sevilla? Villarreal? Am I right? Which one? Sevilla. I was right. Okay, yeah. So he's going to Sevilla on loan, which kind of annoys me because it's like, why are we sending players on loan? We need to be selling players. That's not sending them on loan. Apparently Porto were not interested despite rumours. There's a couple other clubs interested, but Sevilla looks like it's all but done. I believe Fabrizio Romano tweeted saying it's all but done. Like, we're just waiting for the here we go. Nick, good decision, like, in terms of getting him not as part of the first team squad. Obviously, I'd love for us to get some money for him. It's probably going to be a loss because we paid 14 million for him. We're probably not going to get more than 14.
14 something.
So yeah, we're probably not going to get that for him. But it kind of annoys me he's gone out on loan because, yeah, again, another player who's not at the squad and we're paying his wages and we've got no money for.
That is because we pay players like they win the league every year. That's what kind of wages they're on that we pay to. Even just like rotational players, we're paying like 100 to 150k. Whereas like Sevilla probably don't even pay their best player anyway near 150k. So this is the issue when you're trying to sell. When you look at it just, from a financial point of view, no club on the planet is going to be like, right, well, okay, we'll pay him 200k as well. Like Martial, for example, when he went to Sevilla on loan. Why would they buy him with the spell that he had? Would they then go buy him and then he's on 200 grand a week? They just wouldn't do it. So financially it makes no sense whatsoever, and this is the problem with every player we have. I think this is going to be an issue with Eric Bailly as well, because yes, we could probably get 10 to 15, and I know we're going to get on it in a second with Bailly.
Phil Jones.
It's just a reoccurring issue. We need to stop paying players so high when we sign. What was the need in giving Telles 100? You know what I mean? Like bumping his wage up nearly triple what he was on at Porto. Don't make sense.
Why did Ed Woodward sign Phil Jones to a new contract on 140k a week when he hadn't played a game for us in like 2 years?
Yeah.
Why?
So yeah, it's a reoccurring issue, innit? Unfortunately, it's going to have to be because Malacia looks like a real prospect. It looks like he could take that first spot, and I'm not even joking when I say that. It looks really interesting. Very good, and then Luke Shaw is there or thereabouts. You don't know if that's going to give him a kick up the arse and he's going to turn back to Shawberto. So Telles definitely needs to go. But yeah, I agree with you, Sam. It's a shame that we're going to have to pay his wages.
I just don't like Shreays says in the chat, sell him one a case like Andreas where the player goes on loan. Yeah, I don't want a fucking another Pereira of just like fucking on loan every fucking year.
Yeah,
I'm not selling him.
With it.
It's a pain in the ass. Flex Felix, shout out to Flex Felix in the chat. Always nice to see you, mate. If Aaron Wan-Bissaka stays, turn him into a centre back using for cup games. He's quick, high, get past, but offensively a liability. I don't rate Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I just think we need to get rid. I think the experiment's done with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Just let him go. Dario Raj, big no for Tellers going out alone, selling for permanent deal. Anyhow, he won't become starters for us again. Yeah, probably not. 62 people in the chat. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. If you're 62 people in the chat, if you're not subscribed, if you're not liked the video, please do. We appreciate all the support. Follow all the socials at the bottom. Thank you so much for all the support. Get your questions in the chat as well. I'll try and read out as many as possible. Should we? If
it gets to 350 whilst we're in it, I'll do 3 shots of whiskey.
There you go. Fair enough, as a choice.
In a row.
So if there's 62 of you in the chat, if 50 of you subscribe, there you go. There you go. 3 shots in a row.
3 of that. Yeah.
Let's move on to Ronaldo, shall we? Ronaldo. Obviously, there was a massive furore on Sunday. Excuse me. After he left 75 minutes, I believe. And there was a picture of him outside the stadium, and people were going mad on social media and on the press saying he's left it. I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And I posted it myself, and then I posted a retraction because I realised what had happened recently. Obviously, what had happened was him and a bunch of other players, including Diego Dallo, Bruno Fernandes, I think there were some others in there as well, were allowed to leave. They were in the director's box, and Ten Hag had sanctioned them being allowed to leave, apparently for traffic and something reasons. I don't know what it is, but apparently it was sanctioned. So obviously Twitter lost its fucking head saying disrespect to Ronaldo, all this sort of stuff. I think obviously he's not up to the standard. Obviously Ronaldo keeps himself in peak physical specimen because it's Ronaldo. I mean, look at him. But I think there's a difference between fitness and then match fitness. Obviously, the rest of the team have been playing in games for the last 5 games. Been on tour. They've got match fitness, and Ronaldo hasn't. He hasn't played a game since the last game last season. So obviously his match fitness is not quite there. So he did look a bit leggy. He pressed for a little bit and then sort of dropped off a little bit. But it's understandable. He's not up to match fitness. Came off at half time. Obviously, people trying to read into that, oh, Ten Hag substituted him, or he's left at halftime. They're trying to create a story. Obviously, Ronaldo gets clicks. He gets people to sort of watch your show if you talk about Ronaldo, all that sort of stuff. I think it's still clear he wants to go and play Champions League football, but I think it's getting to the point now where there isn't anybody coming in for him, really. Bayern are not coming in for him. Obviously, Atletico Madrid was the rumour, but they made themselves very clear that he's not welcome there, not coming. Madrid not coming in for him. Chelsea have distanced themselves. So all the teams that you think you could play at in the Champions League have distanced themselves. So the only one that's sort of left standing is Sporting Lisbon. But again, that would probably be a loan because I don't imagine they're going to be able to pay his wages because they're not in that sort of state of a club. I think if he really, really wants to leave, Ronaldo's going to leave. But I think he's running out of options at the minute. And if he does stay, I expect full commitment from him. He'll score goals. He'll be probably one of the highest goal scorers in the team. But I think that does upset the balance of the team. I think it upsets Anthony Martial. I think it upsets the way we play. I think it'll be better for all parties, Ronaldo and United including, to get him to leave on a permanent deal. But yeah, Shreays, your thoughts on the sort of whole Ronaldo situation at this point?
I mean, with Ronaldo, I would just say, the situation, the way it has turned out to be, it's really unfortunate. I mean, just to, imagine that, Cristiano Ronaldo will have that Europa League badge on his shoulder next season if he does end up staying at Man United. I mean, it's just really, really hard to imagine to see someone like Cristiano Ronaldo with that emblem on his side. So I do get, why he wants to leave. And considering the stage of his career where he's at, I do understand the logic behind it as well. But the way this window has turned out, he doesn't really have those many options. I would say the options that could have come out, they haven't really come out for him. And now the options that are existing now, they aren't they aren't really any better than Manchester United, to be really honest.
Anywhere's a step down at this point, isn't it? If Bayern, Chelsea definitely. And all that have gone, it's a step down.
Exactly. So I still believe that, if he does end up staying, he is able to reach full match fitness. I do see him, offering us the quality that he pretty much offers, because it's the same scenario anyway. Wherever you're going to put Cristiano Ronaldo, he is going to score your goals. No matter what side you put him in, he is going to score your goals. Even when there's no service, he ended up scoring 18 goals for us last season in the Prem itself. Yeah. So this season, I think, other than the fact that, that it would upset the dressing room, I think we still got to keep an eye out for that. And we have to see how Ten Hag is able to, integrate him with the squad. But I would still say that we do need him next season because we are absolutely out of options. We have no depth when it comes to our attacking side, because I would say Ilanga, he isn't ready. I still think last season he got pushed in way too early. He had to play an awful lot of games where I wouldn't really have started.
We had no options though, did we?
Exactly.
You know what Ilanga, Shreays? Ilanga is just, for me, he's just an athlete. I think his first touch and his decision making is terrible. Honestly, I think it's really bad.
I think if you look at him closely, he is a bit like Rashford. He has got that burst of acceleration on him, but he's still way too young to have that maturity on the ball. He's still way too young. I think he definitely needs a loan deal this season. He has to go out, get some game time in, and come back next season for us, because I still don't think that, he could be an option for us to even, consider him off the bench. He's still way too young and way too immature for that. And if, considering the attacking options that we've got at the moment, it's Rashford, Sancho, Martial, and then it's pretty much just Cristiano Ronaldo. So if Ronaldo does leave, we're just left with three options. And I don't see us, I really don't want to go into a season where I have to count on Rashford week in and week out, because he's still trying to, reach full confidence.
Or
He has
Martial for that matter. Like Martial
I mean,
hasn't shown
yeah.
much, until when the season him and Rashford played extremely well together. Since then, what's he showed us?
I would still say that with Martial, I'm a bit confident, because at least in the preseason, the way, he's turned about his fitness, his attitude, and the way he's played, it's still a bit, it still gives the fans a little confidence that, this guy is still coming into his own. Maybe, he could be the player we actually signed him when he was, he just got the golden ball and he was rated at one of the top prospects in Europe. I still see that, because with Martial, the case is, it's not a case that where, he doesn't know what to do and he doesn't have the quality. It's just a matter of consistency. With Rashford, the situation...
It's his application, isn't it? His attitude and application is actually Martial's problem. We've never denied the quality of Anthony Martial.
Exactly.
His quality is undeniable.
Yeah, but I would say, if you have to compare that with Rashford has lost his confidence. He is still trying to figure out the basics with him. In that preseason game where Pelistri played that ball, he took way too many touches, completely killed the attack, and the ball, we just ended up getting hit on the counter.
He has been better though. I feel like he has been better in preseason than he was last. Obviously last season, to be worse than last season, you'd have to just lie down and do fuck all. But I think he has been better last season. A couple of comments in the chat. Ronaldo will play 20 minutes against at the weekend against Brighton. I don't think he will. I don't think he'll play this against Brighton. We need him to stay from Shreays. Injury. If Ronaldo will score more goals than Martial, and Martial will not be fit for games, he will not be good. Interesting. Imagine Ronaldo in Man City or Liverpool side, he would be having 50 goals a season. Yeah, Nick said that on several occasions. If you put him in any of those teams, he's scoring a shit ton of goals. Tamba Sarawe, please sign Cesco. Yeah, if you scroll back a bit, mate, right near the beginning of the video, we talk about Cesco. We can sort of get onto that. Nick, just quickly your thoughts on Ronaldo. Obviously, we've spoken about this a lot over the last couple of weeks, but you've not been here for about a week. So obviously, there's been several developments since. Just, your thoughts on the Ronaldo situation.
It's a thing that's certainly dividing the fan base in a minute, innit? Let's be honest. Some people think he's kind of, disrespected the club and he's making it the Ronaldo show, and we've got, kind of bigger issues to worry about, e.g. the transfer market. Then you've got some fans saying, I don't care, he'll score 20 plus goals. There isn't another striker in the market right now that you can go and get who will provide that. So I kind of, I think both points are right. But the issue is no team wants him. So whether we want to get rid of him or not, no one wants to take him on. No one wants to take his wages on. Or like Bayern said, he's too much of an old profile to go get. They don't usually go with that. Tuchel didn't fancy him. So look, we're going to have to deal with an unhappy Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that's how it's going to go. And I think it wouldn't surprise me the way football, if we would have said 3 months ago that Martial would be starting against Brighton as our main striker, considering the loan spell that he had at Sevilla, everyone would have been like, shut the fuck up, you're crazy, what are you talking about? Exactly. So it just shows how quick things can change in football.
Yeah.
And it would not surprise me in the slightest if Ronaldo is our starting striker come September. Honestly, it really wouldn't. That's just football for you. I think, like I said, touched on before, both points are right. I can see, why fans would be angry, and I can see why fans would want to keep him, but ultimately, either way, you're going to have an unhappy forward, because if it's Martial, if Ronaldo stays, he becomes the main striker. You've seen what happens with Martial when Zlatan came in, threw his toys out the pram. When Cavani came in, toys out the pram, stinking attitude. Yeah. So I think either way, you're going to have an unhappy forward, aren't you? So we'll just have to see what happens with that. And see how it goes.
Chris Kayinge in the chat, how are you now? I'm good, mate. How are you, Chris? How's it going? Dario Raj, with Ronaldo, we have to be selfish, just think he can give us goals. That's all we need. I mean, if a lack of better options, obviously Cesco is floating about, but I doubt we sign a forward. So if Ronaldo is the only option, then we've got to make it work somehow, because I don't see us signing anybody else. Because obviously,
I don't. Also, very quickly, sorry to cut you in there, Sam. I don't subscribe to the theory that Ronaldo can't play in this system. I get
no, he definitely can. He definitely can.
Like, he can 100% score bags of goals in this Ten Hag system. I just don't want him off the pitch because he didn't get his move to make it all about himself and then that be the constant distraction for the rest of the year.
But then it's a cascade effect, isn't it? Because if he's unhappy and he's not playing, then that floods out to the team. Like we already saw it last season. Anthony Martial's then his confidence is going to drop and his form's going to drop. So then it just fucks up the entire team. If we could make it work for just this season, cool. Let's make it work. And then next season, get a striker, get somebody in, rebuild the team. Like I said, I agree. I think he can play in this team. I think Ten Hag has got the capability. We've seen it with Haller, the way he played with Haller. I think he could play with a similar way with Ronaldo, but we'll see what happens. Shreays, maybe Eriksen or Bruno off the wing to maintain the depth with Donny as a pivot. Could be an interesting option. Definitely could work. I think the service is there. I think Sancho has looked absolutely brilliant in pre-season.
Yeah.
If we can get Rashford going, or like you said, if we could play Eriksen or Bruno off the wing and then have Donny, Bruno, Eriksen, some combination of that, supplying Ronaldo, I think it could work. But it just depends on how Ronaldo's feeling and his mood, all that sort of stuff.
What's the sub count, Sam? Just to double check that.
309. So it's creeping up. It's creeping up slowly.
311 now.
311.
Oh.
Yeah, 311.
If it gets to 350, 3 shots of whiskey.
3 shots. It's getting closer.
It rhymes as well. 350, 3 shots of whiskey. That's the deal. Get it done.
Chris Kayinga, I want Anthony. Please, Anthony. He's a superstar. I think he's a great player, mate. But 80 to 100 million is not. You can't be paying that amount of money for that guy. It's just not. It's not worth it. 60 people in the chat. Thank you so much for everybody watching the chat. If you've not subscribed, please do like the video. Hit all the follow buttons and subscribes on all the socials below. They're all in the chat. The links are all in the chat. So in the description. So please go follow. Nick, final story for tonight. Do you want to give it to us?
The Ofcom. This is what we're on about. So let me just get the stats up because I can't remember off the top of my head. That's not stats. That was my flight number.
Also, while Nick's looking for it, can we just say congratulations to the England Lionesses for winning on the weekend? Massive congratulations, and it feels even sweeter because we beat Germany, which is always nice. Yeah. And it did go to a penalty shootout because fuck me, England don't need more penalty shootouts because Jesus Christ. I know,
thank God, especially against Germany because we know we have a history with Germany in penalty shootouts.
Just terrible.
So the article I wanted to discuss, I saw it pop up before, and I thought, we needed to bring it into the show. Ofcom have released kind of like a statistical graph of players who have received the greatest number of abusive tweets. Now, for people in the chat, let me know in the comment section who you think I'm going to roll off the tongue now.
How many are you going to roll off now?
So I've got a list of 10. Okay. How many of them are United players?
Can I guess? See how many I can get.
Yeah, so let people in the chat as well guess how many players are United players.
Let me have a guess. Rashford, is he on the list?
Yeah.
Maguire.
Just for context, this is greatest number of abusive tweets. Yeah. Obviously, it's not a great stat. No one wants that, but that's what it is on social media.
Maguire.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm going with is it to do with racial abuse as well? Because there's a shit ton of racial
abuse. I imagine there's some kind of depth in that, of course. Yeah.
Martial, is he on there?
No, surprisingly, he's not on there. Yeah, surprisingly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Who do you think, Shreays? Who else would be on
Pogba?
there? Yeah.
Pogba's definitely Pogba.
Yeah.
There's some guesses in the chat. Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford, Maguire. Sancho on there?
No Sancho, but Rashford's on there, Maguire's on there, Ronaldo's on there.
Yeah.
One other player who's left us recently.
Lingard.
Jesse Lingard. Yeah. Some more guesses. Bruno, McTominay.
Yeah, Bruno's on there. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. So all the United players that were on there, basically. So there's a list of 10. Ronaldo's at the very top with 12,520 tweets, abusive tweets, from the 13th of August to 24th of January, which is just mental. Then Maguire's behind him with 9,000, which, when you put it into perspective, if you think about the following that Ronaldo's got, you've got the international ones who kind of hate on him sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, naturally, he's going to have massive numbers, right?
Yeah.
Maguire's only 3,000 behind him. Then you've got Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane, Fred, Jesse Lingard, Jack Grealish, Paul Pogba, and David De Gea. And it's just like, it's a proper negative thing. I know.
It surprised me Jack Grealish is in the top 10. That does surprise me.
It's you know what it is? It's just because he's obviously a good-looking guy, great at football, got a bit of a mad lifestyle outside of football. Naturally, that attracts. Do you know what I mean? Like, you always get that sort of superstars always attract hate.
It does surprise me that he's on there. It surprised me Bruno's on there as well. It does surprise me Bruno's on there.
I think the reason why Bruno is on there, sorry, let me just think. The reason why Bruno's on there is because the way he is on the pitch. So when he's playing other teams and how much he's moaning and how much we know it as, we've watched it all season. So I just thought, like, I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Like, seeing them stats there, Ronaldo, 12,500, Harry Maguire, 9,000. Marcus Rashford, obviously, he had that kind of period, didn't he? Especially last season with the bad form that he was in. Yeah. Got absolute pelters on a lot of posts. And I just think
you had the Euros as well, didn't you? The missed penalty from Rashford.
Yeah, so exactly. And I just think people need to support them. No matter what's going on. I understand people have beef with Ronaldo at the minute because of what's going on.
Yeah.
But the being negative on Twitter and stuff like that is not going to have any impact on the pitch. It's just going to have, it's counterproductive. It's going to have a negative impact on the pitch. So just, I'd advise a lot of people to think about what they're tweeting before they do it, because it's ridiculous.
Shout out to 50 people in the chat. Thank you so much for 50 people in the chat. Appreciate it. My thoughts on it, I'll do this quickly. I think any abuse of any kind based on the colour of somebody's skin or them as a person or anything like that, I think any sort of abuse is abhorrent and it's disgusting. You should never ever abuse anybody for anything like that. I think criticism of players' performances is fine, but it's the way you go about it. I think to directly tweet, say, let's just use Marcus Rashford for example, to directly tweet Marcus Rashford and go, you're fucking shit, this is because of that. I think that's not acceptable. You should not be doing that in any way, shape or form. I think, imagine if you went to your job and you had a bad day and then you went home and then just random people on Twitter are just abusing you, go, oh, you dropped that fucking tray, you remember that, you're a fucking arsehole, like all that sort of stuff. It's just unacceptable on any form. I think criticize teams, criticize players. I thought they had a bad game or they were terrible this game. Fair enough. But to abuse any player is totally unacceptable. And it just shows you what a cesspool Twitter can be at times.
Twitter is
it's
so
a fucking
bad.
horrible
Twitter
place.
Is so bad.
Honestly, a horrible place. And I use it literally to look at stuff and news and stuff. I barely tweet anymore. I barely do anything other than
I can guarantee you, Sam, If you went on Harry Maguire's Twitter now, I challenge anyone to do it and just go in the comment section. Go in the comment section and look at it. It's not nice.
It's the Rashford, when Rashford and Saka missed those penalties. Was it Saka missed or Sancho missed?
Yeah, all three of them missed.
So when they missed the penalties for England in the Euros, I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, they're getting racially abused tonight and tomorrow. And it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad that I know that's going to happen. It's fucking sad, man, because it's just like their skin colour and their race has nothing to do with their ability to play football. It has zero to do with it.
Yeah.
The reason they missed all penalties could be a number of factors. Mentally overthinking it. Maybe they were injured. Maybe the pressure got to them. They were nervous. There's millions of factors that could be the reason they missed that penalty.
Fuck all to do with the skin colour.
Fuck all to do with skin colour. Fuck all to do with race. And if you're a racist prick and you support Manchester United, fuck off. We don't want you. We don't want you in the team. We don't want you part of this club. You don't fucking deserve to be here. Fuck off. And there's some spam in the chat, so while I get rid of that, Shreays. So have a chat. Shreays?
Yeah.
Thoughts? Just gives you thoughts on this abuse on social media and stuff, because it's getting ridiculous now, isn't it?
I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, I would say the fact is people, even though, a lot of reforms have come about, I think players on the pitch are, they're getting more aware as well. They're trying to, like the Black Lives Matter stance as well. I think there have been reforms. Of course, there have been changes, but there is still a portion of the population that still likes to differentiate a player's abilities or the way they perform on the pitch especially on the basis of the race. I think Paul Pogba has been one of, I would say, in his time at Manchester United, he's been one of the biggest scapegoats because of that. Because even though everyone knows that, on his day, he could be one of the best players on the pitch. On his day, he definitely can be. But people still go out on him basically, mostly because of his skin color. And coming from India, definitely I know a lot about it. Even when I've been abroad, I've seen people looking down upon me just because, you're not that fair. So I think people now definitely they're being more aware, they're being more considerate. I think even people, they're trying to actually, gather more knowledge as to what actually goes on behind the scenes and actually what happens with people who get racially abused. So it's good that I think that the whole community is coming together now. I think people are also taking actions because of these guys. And I think in a few years time, these people especially who like tweet stuff out, especially on the Instagram comment section as well, I think some action will be taken against them as well, because we've seen cases where these guys get caught as well, and they have some legal issues, legalities taken against them as well. So I would say I'm glad as to that people actually react to it, because a lot of times we've seen that people actually ignore when stuff like this happens as well. They tend to not react, they just turn a blind eye to it. So it's good that people right now, they're noticing this stuff, they're trying to be more vocal about it. And who knows, maybe in the coming time it can be a more open environment for them, because we've seen as well in the Middlesbrough game where Ilanga took that penalty and missed, he got racial abuse as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a 19-year-old kid, and the pressure that he was in that game, it definitely hasn't, it has no connection with him being, him not being of the same color as someone like Harry Maguire or Luke Shaw. It's because he's a kid, he's not that mature. Definitely the pressure is going to get to him. He's pretty much taking the deciding penalty of that game. So of course the pressure is going to get to you. And I think people definitely need to be more considerate on these young players, because they're just coming onto the scene. We need to provide a positive environment for them, so that they're able to actually express themselves on the pitch. And sometimes for young players, these kind of comments and these kind of slandering that they get online, it definitely gets to them, because they're not the kind of guys who develop that hard skin. Like when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, if he gets hit, he's going to shut them down on the pitch in the next game. He's going to score a hat trick. He's just going to do the celebration in front of the fan. So with these young players, it's actually really, really tricky, because they tend to take things by heart. So I think the clubs, if they're able to come together about this, especially with the youth players, I would say, I think it could be good. I think it could be a more I would say positive environment for them to actually be in. So I think with time things will get better, but we do need to keep working on it, build it step by step, not to rush too much into it, because we've seen what happens when you rush into things too fast. So build it step by step, and hopefully changes will come.
By the way, if you're on this channel, you subscribe to this channel, and you are a racist, fuck off. We don't want you part of this channel. I don't want anybody who's part of this channel who's a racist motherfucker or abuses players racially for missing penalties or having bad performances. We have so much. We have really good people on this channel, and it's not because of their skin color. Like Shreays, Dana from India, the reason they're on this channel is not because of their skin color, it's because of the content they bring to this channel. We've had people like Severe in the past, who's again, shout out to Severe, great knowledge, great insight and opinions and stuff like that. They're on that channel. They're on this channel because they provide quality, not because of the skin color. It's absolute ridiculous that it's 2022 and there's still racial abuse going on. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Personal story, my girlfriend is Chinese. She was born in Manchester, born in UK. All she knows in UK, but family's Chinese. She's suffered racial abuse throughout her life, and it's fucking ridiculous. She's a grown woman and she's still suffering racial abuse in 2022. So fuck everybody who's absolute racist, and fuck all these people abusing players online. Yeah, go.
There's a simple solution to this for me, anyway, at least, especially Twitter. Just have to provide identification for when you create an account. Because I guarantee 100%, it would cut it out by about 95% if they did that, of all the abuse that people get. Not a chance would they be doing that. It's all behind fake accounts. They would never say it in person. So the owner of Twitter could very easily shut this down, and they know it. But for whatever reason, I don't know.
It's because they'd lose users, which means they lose ad revenue, which means they lose money.
Yeah, exactly.
It
all comes down to money, doesn't it?
Any time you realise if a company doesn't do the right thing, it's because of money. Just realise that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Exactly.
Sam, is she the one who was walking sideways? Yes, she was on the clip on TikTok. She was the one who was Mission Impossible in and out of the room.
Yeah.
That was her.
What a clip.
Oh, God. She's now famous on the internet. She'll never forgive me.
Yeah.
Daniel Raj, 314. We're on 314 subscribers. So it's crept up. I think that's it. And in terms of news, I think that's everything I've got. So let's plug some stuff. We have a fantasy league. We started a fantasy league this season. We've got about 30 odd people currently in it. I bet Adam and Shreays have still not done the team, have you? Shreays?
No. 100% I put money on it. It's more chance of Jong joining than fucking Shreays making a team.
Yeah, Adam and Shreays have still not made their team, despite the fact they're part of this channel. Disgraceful. Yeah. But
so everybody spam him in the fucking messages and tell him to create a team.
35 other people have bothered to do it though, so I appreciate it. So Dan, if you're still in the chat, Dan, could you drop the code in the chat for us? If you have any fantasy league,
IDW63.
Oh, there you go. He knows off the top of his
head. He knows the code, but he can't. He's not
made a team. Absolute disgrace. You join from any fantasy league app. So if you've got the Fantasy Premier League, the official one, it'll work on that. If you've got other app, it works. So just put that code. Dan will hopefully put it in chat so you can just copy and paste it. Join the fantasy league and let's have a nice season. See who wins at the end. You never know. We might
do a little giveaway.
Might do a little giveaway, or maybe you can come on the show for a bit. There you go. Dan's put the code in. So yeah, join the fantasy league. Maybe you could come on the show as well at the end of the season review. Join us on the show. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Nick, do you want to tell everybody where the socials are, please?
Yeah, so if you haven't already looked at the beautiful ones at the bottom of the graphic, Instagram for the schedule and obviously the lives as well, which is every Monday. That's Real Reds Talk. Just search on there. For the clips from these kind of shows, the funny ones, head over to TikTok. That's Real Reds Talk as well, I think. Oh, is that Real Reds Talk 99? The thing will say it below anyway, so you'll see it there. Follow us on Twitter as well for regular news updates. Dan and Shreays run that, and it's literally every few minutes. Whenever something's going on with Manchester United, you'll get it at Real Red Talk there. And we've got streaming as well on Twitch and YouTube, where we do FIFA and some cards, some Assassin's Creed, loads of variety for you guys. For anyone who likes,
don't mention PUBG. Different. Don't mention PUBG.
No, I'm not gonna. I know he's sensitive at the moment with that. But, yeah. Any PUBG gamers, they'll know. So yeah, just make sure you hit us. Just type Real Red Talk anywhere and you'll find us. Thank you very much. Appreciate
it. We've got a lot of content coming out this week. Obviously 10 bags normally happens on a Thursday, but we're doing the season preview on Thursday. So 10 bag is happening tomorrow. So join Adam and Nick for 10 bag. Hopefully they've got rid of Darwin Núñez at this point because he's still there.
Yeah. We're on it.
Yeah, release him from his contract. Thursday we've got the season preview. Me,
big one.
Adam, is it Adam or is it Shreays? Who is it?
Shreays, Severe. Me, you, Shreays, Severe.
I wasn't gonna release Severe, but we've told them now. Special guest Severe, who's part of the channel a while back, and he's coming back on for season preview. Chairman of Martial FC, so it'll be interesting to see what he thinks about the revival of Martial. Friday we'll have the transfer show as usual. Hopefully we'll have something more to talk about other than De Jong and fucking Cesco because I'm honestly over it. Friday we'll have the Brighton preview, won't we?
Yeah, correct.
Friday's Brighton preview. And we'll probably get into a bit of transfer news on Friday. Saturday, probably do a stream on Twitch, but somebody will do a stream. And then Sunday, we obviously have the match day for the Brighton match.
Watch along.
The watch along. We'll have the review, all the good stuff that you're normally used to by now. I think I've got everything. Am I missing anything?
No, that's it. Thursday, make sure you tune in for that one because that's a big one. That's the season preview. So that's going to be a massive one.
Probably around about the same time, 6 o'clock, 6:30. But just follow us on all the channels and you'll find out what exact time. Thank you to everybody in the chat for watching us. It remained at like 40, 50, 60 viewers the entire time. So thank you for the love. Thank you for getting us to 300. What are we on? 314? Let me just double check. 314 subscribers. We've gone up, I think, like 20 subscribers during the stream, which is fucking amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's hit 350. That's the next goal.
Yeah.
Let's hit 350. Then 400, 450, 500. We just keep growing this channel. We'll keep going and we'll keep going until we've got 1 million subscribers. Let's just keep going with it. Appreciate you lads coming on. I know it's been a bit of a long one, but there's been a lot of news to cover.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on. And yeah, thank you everybody in the chat. Subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. Leave a comment, all the good stuff, and we shall see you tomorrow. Well, Nick and Adam will see you tomorrow on FIFA. So we'll see you then. If not, see you Thursday. Peace.